What up? What's going down, guys? It's another one. We here. I couldn't wait to get you guys into the building today. Another episode right here at the Houston Pod. But guess what? I got somebody special. She about to drop some knowledge, some bombs. She gonna tell y'all all about it. I'm not gonna give you all of the gems right now because we're about to really jump into some good stuff in real estate. Porshae Brown, thank you so much for coming into the Sharks of Real Estate podcast. Man, golly, this is amazing.
Thank you so much for the invitation. I greatly appreciate it.
You know what? I have to publicly start off by saying, you know what? I was trying to get this going, and as you know, real estate is crazy.
It is.
Right? And things happen. So I had to bring Porshae something special because I messed up our previous podcast interview that we were supposed to have. So that was on my fault. So I had to publicly tell you, thank you for giving me a second chance.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I appreciate
that. So I want to just jump right in, Porshae. So I always ask people what side of real estate you're on, what you do. I know, but I need the people to know. So I need you to tell them that how super great of a real estate agent you are. Let's boost you up right now so you can get some business. Come on now. So what side of the business are you on?
So I am a retail agent. Gotcha. I love assisting first-time home buyers.
Okay.
So 1 to 4 residential. Also, I am becoming a strong listing agent too.
Hello.
A lot of my clientele are now moving toward getting out of their first home and getting either rental properties or upgrading into their second home. And granted, I've only been in the business coming up on 3 years, but the clientele that I have been able to build on, they're super interested in building wealth.
Gotcha.
So they already kind of like have a plan for what they want to do.
And I think that's our generation now, right? So
and I love it.
Yeah, we have a lot of people that don't think about the now, but think about the future as well. And I think that's really important when you start to talk about real estate because as you know, it's really important to think about those areas that may change in 5 to 6 years, hence the EDOs, hence the third wards. Do you do a lot of business in those areas?
I do. So a couple of areas that I emphasize and that my clients really enjoy building back up are your third ward, your fifth ward, your East Downtown, your East End, your Independence Heights area, and Sunnyside.
Yeah. And I think, so while we're talking about the area, I think it's really important that people know that they can actually get into some of these areas with some great programs.
Yes.
And I know you work with a lot of those programs. Yes. One of those programs being the Community Redevelopment Act. I wasn't familiar with that, so you're going to have to school me on this. I'm trying to figure everything out.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
So I would say earlier this year, another agent communicated that to me.
Okay. And that's what we do. We talk to each other.
That's why I am cool with other agents because I learn from other agents.
Exactly.
I feed off from other agents and I make it my own. We're all colleagues in this. Yeah, we doing some things similar, but it's never going to be the exact same.
Exactly.
So going back to the community redevelopment grant, some lenders have money available for people to purchase in low to moderate income level earning areas.
Right.
Some qualify in third ward, most qualify in your fifth ward, in your Independence Heights, because although prices are rising, there has yet to be the median income level rising up to that level just yet, as fast as the property prices are.
Right.
So you have lenders that are offering up to $7,500 toward closing costs for buyers specifically purchasing in those areas.
Right.
It can be for a new construction home, worth $355, $400 because you're purchasing in those areas where it does qualify.
Right. And I like the fact that we're saying some of these areas are low income.
Yes.
But think about who's moving into these areas.
Correct.
I mean, there's some people moving in. We need to get a piece of this.
Yes.
So we can make sure that we grow that wealth within our families and future generations.
Development.
Exactly.
Revitalization.
Exactly.
Because you have this negative connotation of, what's the other word? Gentrification.
And I talked about that. I talk about it all the time.
And it's something to be talked about. Now, you can either complain about gentrification or you can be a part of the solution, which is revitalization. And I see a lot of our younger professionals understanding what this term and how important it is.
And I think that gentrification can be looked at twofold, right? There's a bad side of gentrification, but there's a good side of it. So where do you want to fall into? And if you're not doing anything, you kind of fall into the bad side. So be a part of it, make it happen, and then move forward, and we can all be doing something great.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Save your money. Use it wisely. Spend it wisely. Instead of going out to the suburbs and paying, you know, all of this money for these homes, why don't you bring it back into the inner city?
Yeah.
You know, and the first thing people ask is, oh, well, how's the crime rate? Well, the crime rate, yes, you can go online. It's public information. You can get robbed anywhere. Anywhere.
Yeah, at the Whole Foods.
At Whole Foods. Okay, at the Galleria.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But as a homeowner, you do the necessary steps to, you know, secure your property and make sure your family and stuff is safe. But with that mentality, you can be strayed away from, oh, well, if my tax dollars are put back into the community, then that goes to funding, that goes to schools, that goes to bonds, all of those things that can make that area better instead of looking at it as an eyesore now, because that's the thing that people don't understand is that you don't wait till it looks like the hype.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then you can't afford
You got to get in early.
You have to get in early. You have to get in now. You have to see the potential out of something.
That foresight, right?
Correct.
Yeah, you got to see it before it happens. Or at least talk to somebody that's telling you that they see it.
Yeah,
right? Get advice.
Or that they've done it.
Exactly.
And how this could work for you.
Yeah. And you know what? I think it's really important that we're talking about this because we're actually talking about passing on information. And I love this subject that I'm about to dive into because I know you have a little one, Mackenzie.
Yes.
Right? How important is it for you to pass on some of this information, whether they're 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 18? It's important for us to pass on some of this information to our children. So with Mackenzie, how important is it for you to do that?
So my baby, she's 4.
Yeah.
I've been in real estate for about 2.5 years. And until she gets to an age where she can be a part of it, she's going to learn it through me.
Exactly.
So she has been on showings with me before. She's walked properties with me before. She's been in the office late night with me and my broker. And we're doing our thing. She sees mommy working.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's so funny that when I do work long hours and I go back to her and I'm like, girl, I'm making you money, honey.
Yeah.
And so, you know, she has that mantra of like, okay, well, if mommy's working late, like she's making me money and all of these things.
Right.
And she has been at events where I've hosted with other people and toured them.
Yeah.
Like she knows. And so when I asked her, hey, baby, what do you want to do or be when you grow up? Oh, I want to be a doctor. Oh, and a real estate agent like you.
Yeah.
Like she'll say these things.
I like
it's not me pushing it on her, but I want her to understand.
Right.
You know, why I do what I do.
Yeah.
And I wish so bad that I knew a lot of what I know now at an earlier age.
Yeah. And see, I'm in a group called the Emerging 100, and we always say they'll be what they see, right? I think that's really important. Come on now. Yeah. Gala coming up. Yeah, Gala coming up. You know, we going to promote it. Yeah, come on now. So, you know, it's really important because they'll be what they see. My kids are 9 and 6. My son is 9. And if you talk to him, he says, I'm going to be a real estater when I grow up, but I still want to play baseball, but I'm going to be a real estater. He might not say it right. Exactly. You can do anything you want to. Yes. So I really love the fact that you're doing that with Mackenzie. I think it's important.
Thank you.
I really
appreciate
do.
It.
Yeah, I really do. Start them off young. Get these people into real estate young.
Yes. I look back and I'm like, y'all, I would not have struggled so bad in college if I had my real estate license at 18.
Hello.
I could have been leasing apartments to athletes or to other college students because that was easy money.
Right.
But what we don't know, we don't do.
Right, right.
And oh my God, I was like, I don't care if she like real estate or not. When she turns 18, she gonna go get her license.
She gonna get her license.
She gonna go get her license.
I love it. I love it. And so I heard you say something about college. So I want to talk to you about this. I know you went to Texas Tech. Go Red Raiders. Patrick Mahomes is my quarterback on my fantasy league. My fantasy
big homie
team.
doing big things.
Yeah, you know it. So my big thing is, how do you think that college experience has helped you with your entrepreneur business, right? And I don't don't think that you have to go to college
You
to
don't.
be successful.
You
But I
don't.
like to talk to people about being gone, being able to communicate with different people,
Yeah.
experiencing life in different places, and then coming back and being able to work that entrepreneur spirit that we have.
Sure.
Yeah.
So when I left to go to college, I was taught to go to college, get your undergrad,
Yeah.
get your master's,
Yeah.
stay in school as long as possible, get a
spend money.
job, okay, and then life,
Yeah.
kids, marriage,
And I
whatever.
hate that we would.
You know what? That's what our parents, that's what our grandparents know. But ultimately, that didn't work out for me.
Right.
And
And you got the degree in communication.
yeah,
I ain't
yeah,
want to.
I did.
So let's just say that she got the paper
did.
now.
I went and I completed and I made a great accomplishment because when you go and you focus and you go away from your family or whatever the case may be, that's always the goal, is to obtain that degree, because no one can take that away from you.
Exactly.
So I did get my bachelor's in communication, media and communications. You know, I did advertising out of college, and I didn't like it. And so I transitioned into hospitality sales. And, you know, I unfortunately, the market crash here in Houston, I wasn't able to sustain in that career field. So I had to really make a choice, and I ended up getting into real estate. But ultimately, going back to your question, you do not have to go to secondary educational institutes to be successful.
Exactly.
That's what a lot of us are taught to do. But if you have a goal and a mindset and you know what you want to do, and just also know that nobody's going to do it for you.
Hello, talk to them.
Then you can do whatever
Yeah.
you want to. And the opportunities are limitless. You can be your own boss instead of trying to beg a boss to hire you.
I love it. I love that because I talk to people that want to get into real estate. Yeah. What did you do? How did you do it? Where did you go? Do it your way.
Yes.
Right? Because I think
no perfect way.
No perfect way. I think all of us do real estate different. You know, I do the gangster realtor, AT sold, AT closed, it turn up, we out here is going down. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Don't try to do real estate like me. I cannot do real estate like Porshae.
Right.
It won't work. Do what fits you best
I say this all the time.
and rock it out.
It's enough for us all out here.
It's the bag is big enough.
Okay. There is enough opportunity where I do not have to fight with nobody to get what I already know is mine.
And I liked it. So you talked about something before we started this interview, and you were like, I'm not competing with a real estate agent because the bag is big enough, right? So how do you feel about that? Because I run into people that feel like we competing all the time. And I'm like, I'm not competing. I'm going to make money.
Right.
You can make some too.
Right.
How you feel about that whole competition and real estate thing? And because I feel like we in Houston and it's big enough for everybody.
Well, so Houston is huge, but also very small.
We know. Yeah.
So I understand where, you know, some people may come across the same clients or you may lose a client to somebody else, but that just ultimately means that just wasn't for you.
Right.
But if you start getting out of your comfort zone, that's when you start expanding, whether it's your immediate circle or doing things outside of what you are comfortable doing.
I like it. Yeah.
So I just know that as my business grows, those things will expand and my opportunities will expand, and also my business. So no, nobody is my competition. I look at other real estate agents as my colleagues,
Right.
because we learn from each other. We understand each other. Who else gonna understand us more so than people who are doing exactly what we're gonna do? When you walked in, you was like, Porshae, I'm so sorry. I had this crazy deal. And like, you know, the buyers in California and blah, blah, blah. I've helped people transition from out of state as well.
Right.
And it can be very difficult, especially if they buying the property, ain't seen it, saw it online, but they have to have it.
Yeah.
Or they come down here with a short period of time wanting to see everything, and now it's your job to minimize what they thought they wanted to see to what they really need to see.
Exactly.
Right?
Ooh,
So
you said that was
there's a lot of different avenues, and there's so much money to be made in real estate.
Yeah, I love it. And the big thing is we can all be components for each other, right?
Yes.
We can all be a source of kindred spirit for each other.
Yeah.
And I love that you say that, because that chitty chitty bang bang, you done a whole gun safety class for realtors out here. You making people feel like, hey, I'm gonna be okay if I'm out here by myself.
Yes.
How did that even come about? Because I was nervous. I'm like, she might come packing. You know what I mean?
But so it is super important for not only women in real estate, but men to be aware of any threats or obstacles we have to face because we're out showing all the time.
Right.
Or we're on job sites and we don't know who can come in and out of those vacant properties and things like that. So me and another colleague, we got together and we did put together a safety training class at Top Gun earlier this year. And we had a great turnout. It was some people from her brokerage and mine. And we got a chance to help people understand, like, along with just this class, let's continue to understand our rights, our constitutional rights.
Yeah, because it's there.
Because not only is it there, other people are utilizing them.
Hello, talk to them.
And although this wasn't necessarily taught to us at the beginning, it's never too late to understand this is where we can begin now, especially in climates as such. But I just pray to God it never gets to a point where we have to necessarily exercise it, but it is our opportunity and our right to do so.
Yeah, I mean, and you should be prepared because we never know what's going to happen.
Correct.
We hate to talk about the bad times, but we at least need to be ready for them.
Yes.
Yeah. So I love that. So I want to talk. I know you're in full-time real estate.
Yes.
I know that, you started this thing about almost 3 years ago.
Yes.
I love the fact that you do Airbnb. I haven't gotten into that side of the business. Don't know much about it.
Okay.
I need to figure it out because I hear once you get it going, it just runs itself. So how does it? Come on now, help me out.
It does.
Help me
Okay.
out.
So I hang with other real estate investors, some people who do wholesaling, some people who do fix and flips.
That's me.
And some people who focus strictly on short-term rental entrepreneurship. So shout out to TJ. He's actually my mentor in the Airbnb business.
Okay. TJ, I'm gonna have to look you up now.
TJ Tijani. And I was gonna take a couple of his master classes, but I didn't get a chance to because of scheduling. So I just hit him up. I was like, yo, just show me the game.
Right.
I'll do whatever that I need to. I'm gonna do it. So I committed. And he at that time he was offering one-on-one training, but now he has more of a structured module class to get people going. But he sat me down and went through, this is what you need to do. This is how you obtain this. I started my first LLC. And that's what I was able to get my Airbnb under. Gotcha. So that's what my Airbnb is under, my LLC's name. And I'm doing rental arbitrage, so I do not own it. Okay. So I'm renting. And I had to, invest in that business. So, I spent a good $8,000 to $9,000 to get it up and running because you have to fully furnish a unit. Right. Along with, all of the startup business costs and, you have to get your DUNS number and everything like that. So yeah, I had to get that situated at the beginning of the year. And trust me, I put that listing up on Airbnb end of February, right when COVID was about to hit. I started getting bookings for like rodeo. Yeah. And once the rodeo started getting canceled, everything. I went to TJ. I was like, yo, what am I going to do? Because I just invested some money. Like, I don't want to be broke.
Yeah. No, for real.
So, I mean, literally, it definitely took a turn. Yeah. But with any business, like business plan, we just have to shift who our targeted audience was. I love it. So, we had to act as a hotel, a long-term hotel. I mean, we had cooking, all the things that you need to cook, all of the things someone needs to be there long-term instead of necessarily short-term. Right. So I would have my place booked out for weeks, months at a time. So that kept me afloat during the hardest times of the pandemic.
That's lie. I think the biggest thing I took from what you said is be prepared for the shift.
Yes.
Right. I think that a lot of us in real estate, we make a lot of money. We didn't put any of it up. Right. COVID hits. We're not prepared for the shift to happen and we don't know what to do. Be prepared for the shift in anything that you do.
And I mean, that can happen in the real estate business as well. So there's a book called The Shift by Gary Keller. Okay. That's one that's on my list that I would, want to go ahead and start understanding of when that time will come because it will. Yeah. in any business.
Exactly.
How to shift it, how to understand, how to work away the model that you were structured to understand at first, but then anything can happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm gonna tell you what, Porshae, I have enjoyed everything that you brought to the table. I think it was amazing. There are a lot of people that do real estate, but there are not a lot of people that are willing to share what they do in real estate. If that
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, and I don't understand it.
Why not? It's not gonna hurt.
Right, and that's what this platform is.
I could give you the blueprint.
Yeah, and you still not do it. I already know.
Still may not follow the blueprint.
Yeah,
or
you still
may
might not. Yeah.
tailor the blueprint to what works for you.
Exactly.
So my mentors, they give me the game all the time. I may take bits and pieces from it, or sometimes I'm like, shit, I got too much going on. Like I'm gonna put that on the back burner. But you have to understand, like when gems and stuff are given to you, it's for you to take upon that and then do what you must with it.
Gotcha. And so, last question. I always ask this. I always want to know, what's your why?
Man.
Oh, I know it. I get them every time.
Well, you know what? It's gonna tear me up, but like, hold on, let me.
All right, let's woosah right quick.
Not only would I say my why is my daughter.
Mackenzie, shout out to
my
you, Mackenzie.
daughter Mackenzie, my beautiful, beautiful baby. I want us to be good no matter what. Yeah. Financially, emotionally, physically. Money helps get you to those things, but that doesn't make people.
Right.
I can honestly say that this year has been a wonderful year, but if it was not by the grace of God, I could not be where I am right now today without him. No matter how successful I am, I cannot leave that man behind.
I love it.
Because he will never leave me behind. I love it. So I can't ask for what from him that I want that I'm not willing to give in return. So I truly believe, no matter the amount of fame, success anyone gets, you always have to be grounded in what you need and what you want. And that's always going to be through Jesus Christ.
I love it. I love it. With that, we gonna man, good. I feel like I should pray. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
like I'm down.
Look,
I'm down for Thanksgiving coming up. Jesus, because I want some good food.
Jesus will. We gonna say Jesus will. Look, Porshae, I appreciate you for coming on to the Sharks of Real Estate. Listen, this has been an amazing episode. If you guys want to look it up, we're on every platform, Spotify, the whole 9 yards, as usual. Where can they find you? I'm not gonna leave without them being able to find you now.
Yes. So,
I almost did the whole outro.
No, it's okay. So everyone, you can go and follow me on IG at Realtor Porshae, Porshae. And then my first name, Porshae Brown. And then also on Facebook, I'm pretty active on there as well. So Porshae, for you guys that don't know how to spell it, Porshae Brown.
Love it. And you know how you can find me, AT_AT closer on Instagram. If you can't find me there, just type it in Google. I swear you'll find your boy. Always as usual, the Gangster Realtor in here, Sharks Real Estate. Turn up is going down. Bow.